So like I've said over and over, Gina Carano, ever since she was fired or left Star Wars, whatever you want to say, because at the end of the day, she did kind of decide to leave Star Wars. While she did technically, I guess, get fired or her contract didn't get renewed, she was warned that if she kept doing what she was doing, she would be fired. So she kind of did decide to leave Star Wars and to leave The Mandalorian. Now, I fully respect that because she decided to continue to be herself and continue to exercise her right to freedom of speech and all that stuff. And she knew what the consequences were going to be, or at least she knew what she was told that the consequences were going to be. And she just accepted those consequences and moved on. You know, she didn't really make a big fuss about it. She didn't really cry about it on social media or anything. She just continued being herself. She got fired and she continued being herself after she was fired as well. And like I said, ever since she was fired, she's done nothing but win and prove everyone wrong that said that she should be fired, and prove the people wrong that did end up firing her, like Kathleen Kennedy and the others at Disney, and the others who, like Bob Chapek, refused to comment on the situation, refused to clear up the situation on exactly why they did fire her, even whenever they're straight up asked. And once again, she gets a couple more wins today. We have this article and also one more from Bounding Into Comics. Once again, shout out to Bounding Into Comics for always staying on top of this kind of stuff. This article says Giancarlo Esposito says his favorite Mandalorian co-star to work with is Gina Carano. Now, it's kind of weird how that's phrased, is Gina Carano, because she's not really on The Mandalorian anymore, but I guess it should be was Gina Carano, unless he's trying to tell us that she's back with The Mandalorian, which probably not the case, but could be the case. You know, always a possibility that she could return to Star Wars. Once again, this is a huge win and a huge kind of middle finger to Disney, to Kathleen Kennedy, to Lucasfilm, anyone who was involved in her firing, anyone who tried to cancel her on Twitter. Huge win for Gina Carano once again. The Mandalorian actor Giancarlo Esposito, who plays Moff Gideon in the show, revealed that his favorite co-star to work with is Gina Carano. Esposito appeared at a fan expo in Denver over the weekend where he did an hour-long sit-down Q&A session. During that Q&A session, a fan dressed as the Mandalorian asked, "In The Mandalorian, who was your favorite co-worker to work with?" Esposito answered, "My goodness, okay, so you're asking me for one. Yeah, I have to say this, maybe, well, okay, I'll say it without hesitation, Gina Carano." So he knew that he would probably get backlash for this. He knew that that's not a popular thing to say, especially when it comes to social media, when it comes to Twitter. It's more popular to hate on Gina Carano because of her political beliefs, and he goes on to say stuff like that as well right here. He says, he continued, "She went through a lot the last year, and I'm not going to weigh in on any of that particular other than any of her political beliefs or what she said, whether I think it's inappropriate or appropriate or not." Right, as we actors, or we as actors, yeah, we probably sometimes, I know for me, I should just shut my mouth, but sometimes I can't, and I've got to say what I believe because it has to go on record, the Moff Gideon actor said. I respect that, man. You know, he probably disagrees. I'm pretty sure he disagrees with a lot of Gina Carano's beliefs, but to come out and say that even though they do disagree, she was, you know, a good person, a likable person, and not only a likable person, but his favorite person to work with on the set of The Mandalorian, that's really respectable. You know, that's how everyone should operate. You know, you don't have to agree with everyone, especially politically, to be friends with them or to like them, enjoy being around them, you know, like them as a person or like them as an actor. Who cares? You know, I don't care about, every actor that I like, I don't look up their political beliefs before I say that I like them. I don't care. If I like them as an actor, if I think they're a good actor, they're a good actor, regardless of what they think outside of their acting. Who cares? And that goes for everything, man. Like, you can be a good person and be totally different from my political beliefs, and I will still be friends with you. I'm close friends with people who totally disagree with me on my political beliefs, and that's totally fine. That's how everyone should operate. And the Moff Gideon actor Giancarlo Esposito is operating that way, and not to an extreme as well, because he said that not only does he enjoy Gina Carano's company, not only does he like her as a person, but she was actually his favorite to work with, even after all the stuff that she's been through, even after she was canceled and fired, and they tried to wipe her from the map. Disney tried to wipe her from the map. Lucasfilm tried to wipe her from the map. He's still out there saying that, yeah, she was my favorite to work with on The Mandalorian set. That's a huge middle finger to Kathleen Kennedy, to Lucasfilm, to Disney, and also that's really nice of him to say about Gina Carano. I loved working with her. She's warm and beautiful and wonderful, and I don't care what her politics are. I love the fact that she came to acting late and she was so raw and original and beautiful, and I just think she's a lovely person. So I shout her out and I say she's one of my favorites. That's awesome, man. That's really good that he did that. Once again, huge win for Gina Carano. But aside from Carano, Esposito also noted that another of his favorites was Lateef Crowder. He explained, second favorite, Lateef Crowder won the Emmy. He was in the suit when we did our whole big, huge fight. And I find physical disciplines are really important because they lead to intellectual disciplines. They lead to disciplines that I've been talking about a lot tonight, of holding yourself accountable to do something for you every single day. For me, before I go to any set, I try to sit, pray, meditate, try to do something physical, try to make sure I've taken care of me, blah, blah, blah. So that's really the end of the Gina Carano quotes from Giancarlo Esposito. But I think that's huge, man. That's huge that he came out and said that about Gina, because he's not the first one that has said that about, or said anything nice about Gina Carano from the Mandalorian set. In fact, he's probably like the 4th or 5th person that has come out and said something directly positive about working with Gina Carano ever since she was fired. It's pretty crazy how many people are coming out and defending Gina. It's almost like they're trying to give the middle finger to Disney and Lucasfilm for firing Gina Carano. And, you know, it's awesome. I hope everyone continues doing the same thing. And it's just crazy how ever since Gina Carano has left Star Wars, ever since she's left Lucasfilm, she's done nothing but win. You know, not only with stuff like this, with Giancarlo Esposito, Carl Weathers, Emily Swallow, and a lot of others as well. And I'm sure Jon Favreau tried to get her back on the set, I did a video a while back before she was fired saying that Jon Favreau, it was a leak or a report or a scoop, whatever you want to call it, that Jon Favreau was actually saving Gina Carano from being fired off the set of The Mandalorian before she was fired. That was like a couple weeks before she was fired. So I'm sure Jon Favreau loved her. And then all these other people were coming out, all these other actors and people working on the set, coming out and saying that Gina Carano was a wonderful person and that she shouldn't have been fired and stuff like that. It's huge wins by Gina, and it's huge middle fingers to Disney and Lucasfilm. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. What do you think about Giancarlo Esposito coming out and saying this about Gina Carano? I think it's pretty cool, and I respect him a whole lot more for saying that, because like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure that his political beliefs are totally opposite from Gina Carano's. Not 100% positive on that, but I believe I've heard some stuff in the past from him about politics. So that's kind of my take on the situation. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you did enjoy this video though, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the link to that will be in the description as well. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.